experience today. I would like to welcome Peak Performance Mindset Coach, Hina Khan.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This has been an incredible masterclass. And it has been so incredible because of you. Whether you are here live or you are watching the recording or you are watching us in Facebook, we feel your energy and we appreciate you and we appreciate how vulnerable you are being in sharing your own experiences in the chat. I want you to know that when you do that, it helps so many people. One of the things that my friend and colleague Benjamin Owen says is courage is contagious. And that's what happens when we courageously show up. I was talking about this at my retreat about what the highest frequency is. And I'm curious, don't answer if you were there. I'm curious what you think. Put it in the chat. What do you think the highest frequency is? Love, gratitude, enlightened, gratitude and appreciation, gratitude. That makes complete sense. Bev says compassion. Tanya says love and kindness. It is actually authenticity. Think about that. And with each and every one of you sharing so openly about your truth, you are doing so in an authentic way, which raises the vibration, not only yours, but everybody else that reads your posts, your comments. And so I want to thank you for that. That was a study that was done by MIT, and it was shown that it was more than 4 times than love is as the highest. Authenticity. You being you. And many of you, I think, as you've been listening to this and being with us over the last few days, have felt home. Because this is something that you've experienced and you've known about, but you've probably never really talked about it with anybody. You've probably never really sat down to think, wow, how has intuition, how has these signs and synchronicities, how has knowing that I'm protected and perceived helped me up to this point in my life? And what if I could now be conscious in the sense of how I'm using it, as opposed to being an unconscious competent in that area? What would happen in my life? I took a look at the comments today for the day 2 home play. And when I looked at it, I took a screenshot of it. I took a picture of it and sent it to the team, because when I looked at it, there were 111 comments on the home play, which was about signs. And so many of you had contributed, and then that was the number, 111. Jacqueline's like, of course. I want to share a little bit of some of the things. There were so many beautiful comments that I pulled that I want to share with you today. I love what Sylvia said. She said she became aware that when she becomes aware of the sun on her back, that's a sign from her best friend who passed away 2 years ago. She knows that's for her. That's her friend giving her a warm hug. Catherine said, I have known of things like Gabby's story. So she just knows. And she says, I often won't book a certain day in my calendar because I know I won't be available. But she won't know why. There's nothing in that moment in the 3D, in the physical world, that's saying she's not available. And then something will come up that day that's important for her to be available for. So she leans into that. I love that we're having these conversations. And she has also heard voices and seen things. Jen, I love this. How many of you can relate to this? For Jen, dimes are a sign from her much loved aunt that is passed. And in the comments, She showed a picture of a beautiful container where those dimes are. I love what Heather wrote, and I'm going to read it. Heather said, I get feelings about the homes that I show clients, and I can feel people's energies, but don't often know what to do with this. And we're going to help you with that, Heather. She said, anyways, I'm pretty sure today I got a clear sign that I was 100% supposed to be in this workshop. Anyone else feel that way? That you are 100% supposed to be here? I signed up for it without knowing what I was signing up for. I love that. My daughter's best friend died by suicide in 2021. She was 15 and like a second daughter to me. Anyways, I was crying for some reason throughout the workshop today. Woke up feeling, I was crying for some reason throughout the workshop. Today, woke up feeling great, not sad. I kept hoping I could feel my team, but was skeptical that it would even happen for me. Hina was speaking and was transitioning from one thought to another and made a quiet sound as if she was forming her next thought or sentence. That sound to my ear was Sophia. That is our sweet departed girl's name. I wasn't thinking about her at all. I was listening intently to the words Hina was saying. It shook me. It's clearly impacting me too, and I'm sure others have tears in their eyes. I think this is the way that this is the way the communication happens. We think it's going to happen in this, maybe we have an idea that it's going to happen in a specific way. But it happens in ways like this, like it's through somebody else. And you could hear it, Heather, because you were not thinking about her at the time. So there would not be any resistance. You were not forcing. You were not like gripping. And you could feel her. And that was for you. 100% it was. So are you ready for today? Before we start, I'd love to also know what has your biggest takeaway been so far for the first 2 days? What has been your biggest takeaway? And I'm going to grab a tissue. Please put that in the chat. Prasha says to lean into my quirky self. Tanya says to trust myself more. Love that. And to stop blocking my gifts. Yeah, stop resisting it. Release. Jennifer Franklin says to pay even more attention to signs and my intuition. Elizabeth, beautiful Elizabeth, says knowing that my intuition will always guide me. Kayla says that being connected to spirit is normal. Yeah, it's normal. This is normal. And a common occurrence for so many. Wasn't that such a beautiful thing about this masterclass? Is the connection. Catherine, pay more attention to my intuition. Omar, trust myself and my intuition. Omar, I've loved reading your comments. Thank you for playing full out. I've really loved it. Nisreen, also that everything is the way it's supposed to be. Alignment, Jeanette says, I love this. Nadine, be open to receive. Stephanie, I know you're a friend of Amber's. It's so beautiful to have you here listening to my gut feeling and move through fear. Heather. So Heather Mills was the Heather that whose comment I just read. Listen to my intuition more. Glorious Glenna, that I can ask for support, listen to the nudges, and there's so much more. Please take your time to read these. Okay, so today, we are going to do a draw at the end. And I'm so excited about this draw. It's for somebody that has been playing full out. And I got to tell you, I think this is going to be the biggest draw that we have had in the sense of the most amount of names, because you have shown up. And I'm so proud of you. And with that draw, when we pick that one name, Amber and I are going to intuitively create a bundle for you. And that will be mailed to you. My team will get your address. Amber will do a live channel here. She'll do a live channel, and we will also let you know after that, as I've promised, because people have been wondering what happens now. So many of you are like, okay, I kind of want to do this again. Now that I know that this is normal, I want to learn how to be able to do this. Let me know if that's you. If you're like a what happens now, I'm not ready to stop. I want more of this. I want to know how I can do this in my own life. Jeanette says yes. Lisa says yes, please. So we're going to share that with you at the end. Bev says yes. So and we're going to do a Q&A as well. Yvette says, yes, I'm so grateful how everything has aligned this week. Definitely want more and learn how to apply. Yes. Okay. Jesse's like, I've already scheduled a coaching call about this. I'm so happy for you, Jesse. That's amazing. Yes, Nasreen says. Because just imagine as you lean into this and know these gifts, how it will help you in your everyday life. So as I said, we will get to that towards the end, and we're going to really take our time with it. I'm going to let you know exactly what is open for enrollment, how we can support you if this is your next step, and some bonuses that are only going to be available for a limited time. And something just happened this morning, literally this morning, about the bonus. So I will share that later. Okay. Are you ready? So are you ready to have Amber join us? If you are, throw some love in the chat for Amber, please. And if we could bring Amber up.
Hi, friends. Hello.
I love that we coordinated today.
Cute. Guys,
Right?
the vibe is high today. I've just been sitting here like, oh, put me in.
Are you hot? Are you warm?
So warm. I'm so warm.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Put me in, coach.
I almost said that, Shannon. I was like, put me in, coach. Come on, Hina. Let's go.
So Amber, I would love to know from you, what are you loving about what you're seeing unfold, not only on the call, but what you're reading in the Facebook group?
The story that you shared, the stories that everyone shared, this is why I do what I do. Being able to facilitate a connection for people in whatever way that looks like to them is the most impactful, powerful thing I could ever do, because it gives people their sovereignty. It allows them to know and to trust that they are supported. It's just like, I don't even have words for what we're experiencing here. I go through at night and I read the comments and I just sit there, and it's so emotional. It's the most incredible community that we have here, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Thank you to each and every one of you for allowing me to sit here in your energy. This has been the best time. I'm so grateful.
Oh. We're so grateful for you, Amber. Thank you. Amber, I want to ask you something that happened yesterday. So this was very interesting. Yesterday, when I had originally thought about the flow, I had thought that we would have Liz Bovey come up and share. And then I don't know when it changed for me exactly, but it changed for me to Christine. I'd have to look at when I asked Charmaine to reach out to Christine and see if Christine was available. And then I would do both. I would have both of them share. In the end, Liz Bovey was not available. Christine was, and we heard from her. You said that, Hina, when you said it was going to be Liz Bovey, you got the message that no, it's going to be Christine. I had not mentioned Christine's name. Can you share what happened for you?
Yeah. So as you said, because that was in our like team meeting before, right? I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, guys. My voice is not cooperating today. Please forgive me. And you had said, yeah, we'll have Liz Bovey up in the chat. And I love Liz, and I wish that she was, but I immediately heard both of our guides say, oh no, it'll be Christine. She's going to talk about the rubber duck. And I said, okay, I'll just let that play out.
So here's my question to you, because we're going to talk about this deeper, obviously later, but so when do you know, because this is all intuition too, when do you know when to let it play out and when to get involved and say, Hina, I actually think I'm getting the nudge, it should be Christine?
So this comes down to like me being a skeptic as well, right? Like I'm like, okay, so if Christine's meant to be, then it will be, and it was. So that's like external validation for me. Cause like what is it to me to be like, oh, Hannah, I actually think that it should be Christine. Like that doesn't do anyone any good. So I just wait to see how it plays out. But to touch on that, so yesterday in the chat, someone had said, do you find energy is more active at night? And I answered, it's when your mind is quiet, usually. But at the same time, I was like, I should say that the veil is thinner at a certain time overnight. And I didn't say that. So, you know what happened to me last night at 3:08 in the morning was I was woken up by guides. And so it's like a constant practice for me to trust to say what I'm getting, or else they're going to force me to say it. That's my contract with them. They're like, if someone needs to hear it, you're going to say it at some point. So I was like, okay, so today it's worth noting that yes, technically, spiritually, the veil is thinnest between 3 and 4 a.m. A lot of people will experience activity at that time. If you want it to, you can still set boundaries. But yes, technically the veil is thinnest between 3 and 3:30 a.m.
Wow. And I think that's why many people, they find themselves waking up at that time.
Absolutely. You'll always hear of stories of people being like, I don't know, like 3:30, I was up.
Yeah, Karen says in the chat, I'm woken up often between 3 to 3:30 a.m., often woken up with heat or pain in my legs. So this is so great for all of you to just think, like, what we're doing is we're creating awareness of something that's been happening, and now you can start to become aware of how does it show up for you. Maybe things that you've been dismissing, like, I always just kind of wake up at 3 to 3:30, but maybe you're being woken up to bring attention to something. Okay. We are going to go into the channel. Before we do, Amber, how many of you on this call have seen Abraham Hicks, for example? Or know of Abraham Hicks or Bashar? So when we see those two people, Esther Hicks and Daryl Anka, who channel Abraham and Bashar, what we see is that they change, like they kind of have a moment, and then it feels like this entity is now speaking to and through them. Their mannerisms are different. Their cadence is different. The language is a little bit different. They both do say the same thing, that they do not remember what has been said. So, Amber, is that what it is like for you?
Yes. So because I'm a channel as opposed to like a psychic medium, what happened, the way that I describe it is my consciousness will kind of take a back seat. And if everything is good and my team has okayed the spirits, and the boundaries are good and there's consent, I will allow whoever's here to deliver a message for that client's highest and greatest good to come through and speak through me. So because my consciousness is kind of in the backseat, I know what's happening, I'm aware, but I don't have any memory of what is said during a reading. And on that same page, because it's technically, I'm just the channel. So it's coming through and then I just deliver it in a way that the client will understand. It's kind of like a long game of telephone is how I describe it. So like before I do a reading, the client's guides and my guides will meet usually a day or two before. They'll talk in whatever way the guides do. Because I have this system of communication with my personal guides, they bring the information down to me in a way that I understand. And then it's my job to translate in a way that the client in front of me will understand. So it kind of is active participation, but for the most part, it's just information that's coming through. I have been told when I do mediumship readings that my demeanor definitely changes, my voice changes, things like that. And yeah, so on the same page of like not remembering, it is like the greatest client confidentiality ever, because I literally will have no memory of what's said in your reading when I close my prayer and step out of it. I also can't feel emotion when I read. So if I'm ever crying or laughing in a reading, that is your guides using my vessel to relay that emotion to you.
Beautiful. And do you, so maybe we could also just talk a little bit about the way that you do it usually, because this is different. Normally, it's not done face to face.
Yeah. So my readings are not interactive, which also like separates me from other people that do it this way because I'm a channel. There is no dialogue that happens. So what happens is before the reading, I have you submit topics or questions. So it can be any 3 broad topics like work, love, travel, health, anything you want to know about. And then I open the floor to specific questions. This is to get super clear with your guides. So I typically don't even read the questions, to be honest, but it's the act of setting the intention of what you want to know from them. Ultimately, they decide the information that you're going to hear that day based on where you're at. But I'll take that information, the guides will take it. I'll prepare for the reading, set up. I'll say my opening prayer. And at that time, the guides know that they can come in and deliver messages. I record. It's a straight channel, usually about an hour. So just all of these messages come through. And then I hit stop on the recording and I send it off after it gets all edited and put into a nice file. It gets sent off. And so I like to do it that way because there is no time on the other side of the veil, right? So that's a human-made construct. So when messages are delivered through me, they're delivered with your evolution in mind. So spirit can see where you've been, where you're at, and the most likely trajectory of where you're going based on who you are in this moment listening to this. And so they will consider all of those things and they will deliver messages based on the checkpoints that you're going to hit or the things that you might be going to go through. So I always disclaim, like, this is a timeless message. If you feel the pull to listen to one of my recordings, like 3, 6, 9 months down the line, please do so. You will hear new information you did not hear the first time because you're evolving with the recording. So that's why I like you to have it forever. I give you the file to keep.
And one of the parts of to set up, okay, actually, let me just ask you this. So for the person that is getting read, what do they need to do to prepare, if anything?
So they will set that intention with me before. It can be like 5 minutes before the designated reading time. But the day of the reading, I encourage them to drink water, nothing crazy. You don't have to like chug all this water or anything. That's happened before. Just sip on some water, stay hydrated is my best advice, because while the reading is happening, my guides are also performing a full Reiki session, which is an ancient form of energy healing. We go into it in the readings on you. So it's a lot of energetic movement and energy through your physical body as well. So water just helps facilitate that movement. So I just recommend people stay hydrated. I always check in after the reading to see how they're feeling. And the answers are always really cool. And then, yeah, so just sip water and, of course, set the intention to be open to receiving whatever is for your highest and best self.
When I received my reading from Amber, it was actually graduation for Con Method coaching that day. So I was sipping water, but I really wasn't thinking about it. I only thought about it after when Paul sent me a message saying, "Did you listen?" And I said, no, I haven't listened. What, you go ahead and listen to it. And Paul was like, no, I'm not going to listen to your reading. But I got a note from Amber about your reading. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, well, and then he sent me a screenshot of the note, which said, Amber, if you want to share what you had sent to him.
Okay, I'm going to take it from the top. So I'd read Paul twice, a year apart. And he said, would you read my wife? And I was like, of course. And all I need to read someone is their first name. And that's it, really, and their consent. So I was like, if you want to shoot me her email, I'll send it to her. He's like, no, just send it to my email. So I had no idea who Hina was. I'd never, I just got her first name, Hina. And I was like, perfect. Okay, tell her I'll do it this day, whatever. And I'll send the file to you. For the first time ever, I'm setting up. Normally, I have a process where guides come through my front door and then I invite them into my office and we have a seat. And it's very professional and we get everyone comfortable. And Hina's guides just came through my window. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. Welcome. And then I sat down to record. And before I went into channel, the disclaimer was, Hina, only you can listen to this reading. Do not let anyone else listen to it until you've listened to it first. And that was the first time that ever happened. So I went into the channel. And then afterwards, I messaged Paul. And in all caps, all I wrote to him was, Paul, who is this woman? Because it was unlike anything I'd ever read before. And so to hear that Paul was she was like, go ahead, Paul, just listen to it. And he knew, a part of Paul knew not to. And then she listened to it and she's like, oh, I get it now. Why? It's just for me. And I remember messaging Paul and being like, this is the weirdest reading I've ever done. And I hope that this woman is open to whatever's happening. And she was. And now.
And here we are.
And here we are. And everything made sense down the road. And it was amazing. But yeah, never had an experience quite like that.
Yeah. So, and the other question was that came through. Thank you for sharing it. And thank you so much for sharing your process, because I know so many people would be curious about it, to know also what they have to do. So for you to know, for everyone to know, I didn't do anything. I was drinking water, but other than that, I went on with my day, and I had an amazing day because we had Con Method coaching graduation. So it's just wonderful to hear what your process is. And then what is the responsibility on the client as well. Mm-hmm. One of the questions, and then we're going to go into a live channel, was from Varsha, was, do you listen to the recordings before you send it?
Never, ever. I don't have the time. And also, no, I've never, ever gone back and listened to a reading ever. And it's funny because that's personal to you, right? Amber, that's none of my business. So right. When I'm conscious, I'm not going to go back and listen to your stuff. But people will say to me, remember, all of the time, my friends, people I love will be like, okay, remember when you said this? And I'll be like, no, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I have to tap back into the channel to get further information. It's funny how it works.
Okay. So are you ready to see this live? Let me know in the chat, scale of 1 to 10. Are you ready? Absolutely beautiful. So here's what's going to happen. I want to remind you that this is being recorded. It is also being live streamed. So understand that if you choose to do this, it is on platforms right now. Also understand that there's never anything. It's all for your highest too. Amber's coming to this for your best.
Yeah. And the guides know where we're at right now. They know that it's very public. So they're not going to bring forward anything too personal. And if they were going to, then it wouldn't work out today. The person wouldn't be on the call. So all good. Okay.
So what we're going to do then is, anybody that is interested and open and giving consent to being read right now, please raise your virtual hand. Oh, yeah, a few hands raised. And what is going to happen now is I'm going to step away so we can unpin me. Amber will choose whoever she feels guided to speak to. and and then we will pin that person, and they will go on as long as Amber decides. And then we may do a second person too, depending on the readings. So I can be removed here. And Amber, over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for holding space for me, first of all. I will let everyone know, if you've ever had a reading with me in person before, you know that I have this notebook. So if I'm looking over here, I'm just writing as it's coming in. I can't listen and speak at the same time. So if I'm quiet, it's just because I'm receiving something, and I will get back to you in a minute. I would love if she is open and willing to have Ashma join me.
Hey,
Oh, hi, how are you?
I'm okay. My heart is racing and I'm very warm.
Okay, good. We're at the same place, girl.
Yeah.
So your team was
Mhm.
one of the teams that woke me up at 3:08 this morning. Actually 3:03, and then by the time I looked and they were finished, it was 3:08.
Mm.
So they showed me your beautiful face. I'm just gonna let them kind of step forward. So they want you to know there's a lot of protection around you right now as you're moving through what you're currently going through. Specifically, like grandmother energy, like ancestral divine feminine, like they have got your back. They were all around you when they showed you. Okay. So they put you in this like beautiful golden orange orb of protection. And this is always my sign for like sacral, so like womb stuff, healing the feminine, things like that. So they want you to know they're with you through this, okay? Like you are so protected, and they are the most lovely, like amazing. They are encouraging a review of our patterns and the way that we're speaking to ourselves on a daily basis. And so they were mentioning that there are things in our lineage, like you were put here to heal for your generation and the next generation, right? What you've signed on for is very generational and ancestral. So they want to validate and thank you for showing up in the ways that you do. Like you are showing other women what's possible, even when you're not aware of who's watching you. People are watching and learning from you. Okay. It's important that you know that. And they feel, oh, full body goosebumps. And they feel you carry yourself with such a grace. And they're so proud to be part of your team. Okay. Right now is a time for grounded communication. Okay. So in what you're currently moving through, they're saying don't match other people's intensity. Your gift is in your softness and your vulnerability. And guess what? Nothing gets shit done like being vulnerable and authentic and open. So you have to allow that in. I feel like there's so many forces, people around you trying to force things, and you know that that's not going to work. And they're like, you are right in your approach to things, okay? Like your gentleness is what's going to solve what's in front of you. It's your gentleness. It's your beautiful open heart. Okay. Sorry, they're sending like so much healing to your heart. Okay. If you can just put your feet on the ground. I don't know where you are, but just
I'm
maybe.
literally on my bed.
Okay. Just maybe put your feet on the ground. We're just gonna like root some things in for you. They're just sending you like so much healing and like expansion. Okay. They want you to know you can trust yourself in this thing. Like you've known all along and you've watched other things not work. It's gonna work once you implement and you trust that what you know is best. So they're giving you a little boost as far as diplomacy and negotiation goes at this time. So I'm getting the next So showing me a 6. So this could be like the next 6 months, hopefully, definitely the next 6 weeks. Any hard conversations you have to have or you've been putting off, this is the time to do it. Like give yourself this grace in the next 6 weeks, because they are all around you with this like extra force. So it really is a call to diplomacy. It's a call to listen before we react. You're going to learn a lot more the more that you can listen. Your responses will be easier the more that you are actually integrating what you're hearing from people. They want you to know it's not personal. It's not personal. They just don't know any better. And the point of it for you, what we're learning is you're getting such a deep understanding of other people and their motives, and almost like from their inner child and their wounds, why they act the way that they do. It's also a mirror for you to look at your own childhood stuff. So when they first woke me up, they gave me a shooting pain, a sharp pain in my left knee. So this either means you have knee pain, physical, do you?
Yeah, I'm wearing my kneecap because like it's been hurting so
Sorry.
much yesterday. I'm so sorry. And I've been like
Don't
living
be
with
sorry.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, sharp knee pain, and then that's so wild. And then that's also my symbol on a energetic level because our physical body is attached to our energetic body.
Yeah.
This is a call to childhood traumas, childhood things. And so the overall message that I'm getting is it's time to just kind of take a look at the past, review. That's the word they're using, like just review, because we are changing things so we can move forward. There's also a little tag here that says, um, oh, like you're so, so loved. Like on that side and this side, like there's just like so much love and support around you. Like they're so excited for you to step into the kind of leader you were always meant to be. It's just fact. Like it just happens. It's just going to happen. You know, you're going to meet yourself there. The tag is don't get caught in the trap of I am healing. Because if we're affirming ourselves, I am healing, then the healing is never done. Healing is an ongoing process. So they would prefer you to look at it from a standpoint of you're already healed and you're just stepping into that vibration. Like you are healed. You're perfect. Everything that you are is perfect. All of these lessons that we're integrating, they're getting you to the next level and you're so guided and supported. But they need you to know like everything that you need and the way you inherently want to move through life is the way you're supposed to, even when the external world is telling you that's not right. You know best. Like you were given this gorgeous, luscious, incredible heart that they're like literally putting in like white light. Like they're like, we're not gonna let anything happen to her heart. We need her to know that when she's authentic, like the world opens up for her. You were here to do everything differently. Everything. Um, yeah, they just love you so much. I don't know if they're going to do anything about that knee pain, to be honest with you. I'm so sorry. That might be a more physical thing. I did not know that.
Yeah, I hurt myself almost a year and a half ago with a personal trainer, and like I did not get support for a year, so we did not know what happened. But now we know. Yeah, but it's been hurting more like since yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just have them send some healing to it, but please know that is rooted to like childhood things. So they're like, just maybe go back when you feel grounded, do a review. That's the word that they're using, just a review of how do patterns we picked up in childhood, how are they affecting the decisions we're making now? That's the homework.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank you so much. I'm
thank
nice
you.
to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
How's everybody feeling? Sorry, I'm not really here. Like I am here, but I'm not here. Okay. I'm just going to go back to the participant thingy. Let's see. Jesse Beardsley, are you willing?
Hi, yes.
Hi. Okay, as I I'm gonna go back to my view. Sorry, when I saw your little name, they showed me the New York skyline, but they're very clear, like it's not New York City. It's New York State. Are you in New York State?
Yeah, I'm in central New York State.
Okay.
Many hours from the city.
Okay. Okay, so good. We're on the right track. What an interesting life you've led. Okay. So, okay, I keep hearing like beauty all around you. Like at any given time, there's something beautiful around you or inside you. This is like one of your covenants coming through in this lifetime. There's always going to be beauty around you. That's what you came here to do. So you came here to plant and reap and sow is beauty. Okay, they're showing me like they keep going like this, and I don't know why. Something about
I work in sustainable style, and clean beauty is a big component of my business. And safer solutions for nail polish is actually.
okay. I'm like, well, there's like multicolored nail stuff happening. Okay. You're married?
Yes.
What's with the 13?
My husband and I have been married for 13 years.
Oh, okay. So they're validating, like a beautiful union.
I also have his my husband's grandmother's wedding band, her engagement ring, which was just recently rebuilt.
So beautiful. So they're just validating. They love your love. His team and your team, like they vibe so well. Something about being best friends first, and that just carries through your marriage, which is super lovely. So they want to thank you for being an active participant in this wonderful, beautiful friendship. Okay, so it's funny because the first thing that they came through with was like revolutionary fashion, and I was like, I don't know what that means. So again, someone else who came here to do something totally different. So on like a global scale, in the way that you're visible to everyone else, you are proving you can be a good person and be successful. So you have to know that that's kind of like your birthright, like success through having a really good open heart and genuinely wanting to change things and make things better for everyone else. You are a light worker, which I'm sure you already know, in your own right. And this is how you spread your light, is through revolutionary fashion. So write that down. Yep, goosebumps. Okay, so you are a super, super powerful co-creator. The universe loves you so much and they love your ideas. Like they just show me like light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Like you're just full of ideas and it's like you almost don't have enough time in the day to implement them all. And that's totally cool. Because I don't think this ever expands to like a giant team that you run because you would lose the heart of it. Like it's very important that you are the heart of the operation that you're in. Do you ever get ringing in your ears? Because my ears will not stop ringing.
I sometimes hear like a tearing sound in my ears.
Okay. So they need you to know how powerful you are as a co-creator. So it's 50-50, right? You have all these beautiful ideas, these downloads from spirit. They come in, you do the implementing on the things that light you up the most. Spirit's going to take care of the other 50%. Like they need you to know they're right beside you in what you're building. So it's like where you're at now is like the beginning. Like this gets bigger, okay? In your business, it gets bigger. And so they're saying you're going to hit a threshold almost where you're going to be like, okay, I need more help. And what's that going to cost? And then it's going to be like you'll have to make the decision to like really expand or stay true to the original vision. And they say, depending on your comfort level where you're at, they both work out wonderfully. Like you really can't get this wrong because the people that need what you're providing will receive it. And that's light work in a nutshell. You have children. How many?
I don't have any kids.
So there's a little like spirit on your team.
Is it a girl?
Yes, it is a girl. And she is largely responsible for like your child like wonder, the way that you approach life. And so please know that anytime that you are playing, anytime that you are having fun, this is like dancing in your kitchen, putting your feet in the dirt, like splashing in puddles, like anytime that you're like reconnecting to your inner child, you are lighting up that guide. She wants you to know she wasn't supposed to come earthside. Okay. She's saying, I am so much more valuable to you on this side because you wouldn't even be able to understand all of the things that I can do here. She's like, I'm more help to you here. And so she really is like your creative buddy. She actually considers herself like part of the company. Like she's like, I am like responsible for like all of the fun, beautiful ideas and like the creativity. So you're co-creating with her. And then like your business guides are kind of behind her. So just know she's got like a really bossy attitude. She's wonderful and amazing, and she gets stuff done. And she loves being here and she loves supporting you. Okay. The final message, and they need you to hear it and write it down because they made me write it down twice already. Creativity and magic are your legacy. Creativity and magic are your legacy. That is the gift you are leaving to the rest of the world. Like true magic, like when they show me your system, it's like sparkles in your veins. Like you are just this magical being that they love to co-create with. They love your brain. They love the way that you perceive things. They're showing me like textiles, like your hands are on things. You're like feeling stuff, fabrics, and like, I don't know where they're going with this, but
I'm a stitch witch.
what you are doing is so valuable to the community that needs it. Like you're so needed in what you do. Just a bunch of beautiful validation. And I feel like right now in particular, yeah, right now is like a really just powerful time for you to like let your wildest dreams run. Like this is the part where you take it to the next level. We're like at an edge where we're like, oh, what do we do? Where do we go from here? They're like, welcome to the next stage. Are your feet on the ground? I'm just gonna ground this into you if that's okay for 1 second.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm just gonna imagine 2 red cords at the bottom of each foot. And this cord or this thread or this root, whatever you perceive, moves down through your floor and down through the dirt underneath. And it travels down and further still, past the pebbles and the roots, down through the gravel until it gets to the Earth's crust. And when it gets to the crust, it goes effortlessly through, right to the center of the Earth. And at the center of the Earth is a giant boulder. And you're being invited to wrap your cords around this boulder now. In doing so, we ground. We thank the Mother Earth that we work so hard to protect. We're going to do one deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. You can sit there with your eyes closed. When you feel ready, you can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And just when you feel pulled, open your eyes. They just want you to know, like, you can be sure-footed. Like, you can trust the decisions you want to make. It's right. Like, you're just, because you do everything you can to make the world a better place, the world naturally opens up for you. That's the deal. Do you feel better? I feel better.
I feel amazing.
Okay. I feel really calm. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me.
Thank you. That was really incredible.
All my love.
So incredible, Amber.
Okay, how's everybody doing? I think maybe we'll take a pause, Hina, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So why don't we pin me, give Amber a moment, and we can also lower the hands. Thank you. So maybe just put in the chat what was coming up for you. How are you feeling through witnessing that? Magic that felt healing. Yes, Kayla, I feel the same way. It felt healing. So much love. Power, Rachel says. Incredible. Oh my gosh, they're coming in so fast. Warm, goosebumps, tears. Yes, Leslie, tears. Felt like the message resonated and that they were for me as well. Yes, tears and healing. Amazing healing connection. Very beautiful to watch. Fluttering in my belly, Glenna says. Totally felt universal. Yeah, Jessie says. Grounding and warm, pure connection. Carol says, with the first reading, I felt as though part of the message were for me. And it was because you're on this call. So it cannot not be for you as well. And this is what I say on our morning calls or when we do group. And this is actually why I think group work is so powerful. It's because sometimes you're not aware of what you need, but it comes through somebody else's question. It comes through somebody else's raised hands. And that's why you are the most powerful person here, because the listener is the most powerful person, because it's in you hearing it that you got what was for you. So I will bring, I'm going to bring Amber back with me here. Yay, Amber. Amber, I think what we've got to get you is like a mini fan. So right afterwards, were you? Of course you were.
Sorry, guys.
I think it's so beautiful. I love it. And
Um,
Amber, I was just, so now we're going to go into some questions, and we're going to, if this is resonating with you and you love this, we've got something really exciting to share with you. And then we will go into the winner.
I do want to touch really quickly.
Yes,
Hannah, you're
please.
totally right. So when we all come together in a container like this, full of like incredible, amazing people, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But there is something, this is how the stage is set, right? There is something in a reading for whoever's hearing it. That's the way that it's structured. Because as I'm reading Ashima, I'm getting other names like lighting up. And I'm like, okay, so this is going to benefit. And this is why we do the work this way. So impactful. I really have to thank every single person on this call for participating. My heart is going to explode with so much gratitude and love. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you.
And with that, sorry for the dogs. With that, this does not have to be the end. If you feel like there's something here for you and you want to learn how to open up your own channel, really, how to be able to do this for yourself in your way. It won't be in Amber's way. Remember, what is the highest vibration? Authenticity. It's not to copy or be anybody else but you. And that's what my whole life's purpose is. My whole life's purpose is to raise the consciousness of everybody, one person at a time. And the most important person is the person in front of me. And to remind them of who they are. It's a return to you, not a return to me, not how I do things, but for you to have the freedom to explore what it is for you and to tap into our higher faculties of intuition, imagination, perception, and all the rest to help you. But how do you do it? Where do you start? And that's what we've created for you. So if you feel like, you know what, I got everything that I need, and I don't need any more, and I'm not curious, then I want to thank you for being on this call. Your energy was so important, and we wish you nothing but the best. If you would like to learn more, and Bev, this will answer your question about having a reading with Amber, we're going to get into that. If you would like to know more and you feel like this could help you in your life, then I am happy to share more. So let me know in the chat if you want to hear more, because we've just created this for you. It's not about us at all. Yes, yes, please. I'd like to hear more. I would please. Okay, perfect. Just like Amber said, we always like to ask for permission.
Mm-hmm.
And this is sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, consent is the most important. I also wanted to say, Hannah, on your birthday, I channeled part of your purpose is you don't let anyone shy away from their greatness. Like, how incredible is that? And how true is that? Like, Hannah will introduce you to the best version of yourself. She'll give you all the tools that you need to do that. It's just like such a blessing. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you for that. So that's the thing with Amber. You just never know when she hits that mic, what is going to come out. But we're all like, that is beautiful. And that does feel true for me. I just want to remind you of who you are and what you're capable of, and to not play small, whatever it is for you and however that looks for you in your life. That's what this is about. So Amber and I have gotten together and we've created a program, and it's open for enrollment now. It is called Amplify Your Higher Mind, and it's a 4-month program for you to use your spiritual gifts to create a wildly authentic life for you. What you will be learning are things like how to access your higher mind. So I was thinking about this. Did I talk to you about it? Who did I talk to about it? When did I mention this? I can't remember. Maybe I mentioned it. Oh, I mentioned it on the call this morning, on the morning call. I was saying how 6 years ago when Amber's beloved father passed away, Amber had described how her channel opened. And to me, when I heard that, what resonated for me, or what came up for me, was that she let go of resistance. in that moment. It was the catalyst to let go of resistance. So the channel is always there. We are blocking it. So over 4 months, you will learn how to access it and how it shows up for you. And one of the questions has been, Amber, is around the team. Like, how do I know my team? How can I access my team? And that is something that we would talk about as well over the 4 months, isn't it? How you can connect with your team.
Absolutely. Yeah. We can take it as far as you would like to go, as far as your comfort level is. If that's awareness, amazing. If that's being introduced to your guides who are going to help you, that's amazing too.
In fact, in April is when we have planned for Amber will be creating a meditation to introduce you to your guides. And again, it's up to you if you want to play it and do it, and you don't have to. But if it's something that you feel called to, that is something that's going to be created for you. This will help you if we look at like what happens at the end of the 4 months. And I'll go through exactly the mechanics of it. But if you're thinking, what happens? What happens is you are trusting yourself, not second guessing yourself. It's to the point that when you meet somebody, now you're going to be so connected to this. And let's say it's someone to do business with or something to join. You're going to know what is right for you, and you don't have to figure out the how. You'll be able to overcome indecision. The other part that we're going to work on are your dreams, because that's the royal road to the unconscious, as Freud said. But we'll be looking at it from a perspective of what is it that's being communicated to you. I love working with dreams, and Amber and I have worked on dreams together. So far on a scale of 1 to 10, how is this sounding to you? Do you feel like this is something that could help you so far with what I've said and what we've created? The reason I'm asking you this is because this is your intuition. You want to connect with, how does this resonate with you? Amber, do you want to share anything about that, about using intuition as they're hearing this, and if this is the right step for them?
To touch on what Hina said, there's nothing new under the sun. Your abilities are already in you. You were born with them. You came here with them. So it's just a reintroduction to something in your toolkit that you may have forgotten about. So if you feel it all pulled, I truly feel like my life has unfolded the way that it has because I've trusted myself, and it was a long, hard-earned trial by fire kind of practice. And now it's the greatest privilege in my life to show people how to do it themselves, because like Hina and I always say, there is no guidebook for this. So I got to go through all of this stuff in order to help other people more easily be able to tap into their highest self. And so it's just the most incredible tool that you always have, that we're just showing you how to re-access.
Love it. So good. It's so good. And we start in January. We've got bonuses that I'll get into, but I'm just going to do high level. We start in January. We have 2 sessions a month. Each session is 90 minutes. So the amount of time that you have spent on these masterclasses, and they're recorded. So if coming live is not something that you can do, that is okay. I promise you, you will get so much out of the recording. Some of you already are getting so much out of the recording. And the first month in January, we're really going to touch on the foundational, like, what is it? The higher mind, the chakras, the clairs. So all of the things that we've touched on, we're going to go deeper into, and for you to see what it is like for you. In the second month, we're going to go deeper into the dreams, into those signs, but now working with. So you've noticed them, but now what? Now what happens? You've noticed the signs. So we're going to strengthen that. We're going to then look at how you can also raise your own vibration and how to access it, how to set the boundaries between you and your team, how you want this to play out for you in your life. We're going to talk in April about how to bring this into practice, how to use practical tools that you'll be given to be introduced to your team, to your guides, and so much more. Because this is a creation too. So whoever joins, your guides are joining too. Like, do you get that? Like, forget the Zoom amount of how many people you can have on a call. Because, right, Amber?
You remember when everyone thought I was calm on the first day? And now I'm like, just wait until we get into channel because there's no way it can be calm. It can't be. There's just so much going on.
There's so much going on. And this, as Mario says, this applies to every aspect of your life. For you, the focus might be business, but the path of least resistance might be to use this in relationship, or it might be, the other way around. And what you want to understand is when you join the group, now what you have is a group of committed people who have invested. So that raises the standard already because everybody on the call has made a decision to be on the call and commit to it and play full out. And once we start in January, nobody else can join. So once we start, we start. Okay. So again, I need to know. Yeah, one heck of a mastermind. Napoleon Hill coined the phrase about the mastermind. And what it was that when you get people together, there's another mind that's created. So imagine this, the mastermind, right, Amber?
It's so true. And to speak to what you were saying, it's all about the container that we're in. Like Hina and I have these discussions about what we're planning and what we're building. And there's an element of it that is so customized based on who is in our container at that time. So that's why I haven't made the Meet Your Guide meditation yet, because it's going to be customized to the people that are going to hear it. Like it's the coolest dynamic ever.
Yeah. So cool. So cool. So again, just to see where you're at, scale of 1 to 10, does this sound like something that would help you? Yeah. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah. I you know what? I have to say, I'm just so happy that we're talking about this and so openly. We're not like hiding. We're not trying to call it something that it isn't. It's 11:11. Okay. It's 11:11. Who is making the decision to do this? And I know you're thinking, I don't know the price. I don't know that. You don't need to know that right now. 11:11. Who is in? Shannon in. Crystal in. Bev, yes. Renee, yes. Stephanie, yes. Yes. Elizabeth, yes. Evelyn, yes. Beautiful Evelyn. Glenna in. Natalie in. Okay, so just feel this. This is intuition. Tell me. I've been so looking forward to when I would welcome you into the community, and it's going to be through this. In. Who else? Who else is feeling the pull? Because we want to celebrate you as well. George, yay! Doctor, amazing, beautiful. Gosh, I just love this. Okay, let me tell you about the bonuses for those of you that are in. You will receive a $250 voucher that you can use for any of my live events. That can be a self-image summit that we're going to have in 2024. Nisreen, it can be for a retreat. And I can tell you something, our community and our live events, there's nothing like it. You walk into the room and you feel love And you have felt it here. That's what we create. So you'll be able to join us at the next one using your $250 voucher. The other thing is, you might be thinking, this starts in January. What's going to happen? You sign up today and you're with me tomorrow morning on my morning study club call. This is where you get my live teachings, Monday to Friday. And these teachings are exactly what we're teaching in that course. I have done these calls and nobody does them like I do them. It truly, because nobody can be me. It's my beingness. For me to be able to do these morning calls, 3 years, Monday to Friday, and people are like, aren't you tired? Aren't you burnt out? No, because it's channeled. It is flow. It is, I don't resist. There's no resistance. I open up my capacity to receive, and then it's coming to and through me. So I'm not exhausted at the end. I can't be. It's a co-creation, and everyone is different. That in of itself, if all you got was the morning calls, you would already have so much. They get better and better because I get better and better. They get higher and higher because I get higher and higher, meaning my consciousness expands. In fact, I shared on the morning call today that I'm so excited to send. It's what we sent to my coach, Steve. I'm going to be wiring some money for him for a session. And he calls it my commitment wire. I love it. I love paying him. It's all for my growth. So I'm always investing in myself as well. So that's incredible access that you get immediately. The other access that you get immediately is access to our Facebook community. Again, our community is like none other. The support, the love, the standard that is held for people to see you at your highest is absolutely incredible, and you will feel it immediately when you join. It's about you becoming authentically you. I always hear about our community, and that's why I love when I even see former clients on our call and they feel like they've come home because they're like, and they're seeing their friends. Lifelong friendships have been made in this community. Business partnerships have been made in this community. We do it in a different way. And it's because although it's a group program, it's high touch. Just like you felt Amber was talking to you, that's how you feel on the morning calls. It's for you. Now, there's one more thing that happened this morning. That's another bonus. I have to go, what? I'm like, who approved these bonuses? But anyways, I guess Spirit approved the bonuses. And now there's more. But let me tell you what the investment is. With the bonuses, the morning calls that we're adding, that in and of itself is worth more than the program. The investment is $11,100. However, the founder's rate, which all of you can receive, is only $8,800. That is available with the bonuses only until the midnight USD. We have a global community. We do everything in US dollars. Thank you for asking, Lisa. It will go to the regular rate on December 1st. Until November 30th, those bonuses and the founder's rate is available to you. And there's another bonus. Okay. So I'd been thinking about this, and at first it was going to be for maybe 15 people, but we're going to do a special call for the first 20 people that sign up from this masterclass. Nasreen's like, how long do I have the morning calls? Forever, I hope. So you would have it now until the end of April, until we are done. You're fully in the community. So that's huge. For the first 20 people, and I also want us to know, you may already know that this is for you and you're ready to sign up. That's how I sign up for things. For those of you that need a call, that's no problem as well. But for the first 20 people that sign up, we're going to split that group and we're going to do 2 small group coaching calls. And it's going to be on your dreams, both the conscious dreams you have on what you desire and the subconscious as well. And creating and letting go of what no longer serves you. And it's going to be your goals and your self-image. That's what we're going to be talking about on this special call. I've never done these calls before, this kind of call before, for the first 20 people. Here's something else that happened this morning. I reached out to Amber and I said, Amber, I want to offer this. I said, would you also like to co-facilitate this with me for the first 20 people that are betting on themselves? And she said, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. She said, yes. And she said, I will be there. And she said, just if it can happen in the beginning of December, because then I'm traveling. So here's the other thing. It's going to happen soon. I said, we'll make it work. So for the first 20 people, not only do you get the other bonuses, you get a special call with Amber and I in a small group. Now, some of you have also said, what about readings? I want a reading too. Amber's calendar, if you try to book with her, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't at this moment book with her. However, you do have the opportunity to add a reading when you sign up. And you will see that option when you sign up. Okay, I'm going to pause there because I want to mention one more thing. Amber, is there anything that you would like to add? What is coming up for you?
Just taking it all in.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting grounded again.
Yeah, we get to do this 90 minutes twice a month. And there's going to be a separate Facebook group only for Amplify Your Higher Mind, so that we can share like resources and we can start to share like all the things that you've shared in the Success Circle. We're going to create a separate group for that, for everything that is happening.
I can't believe how fast these, like the masterclass sessions had flown by, and I can just imagine the program calls. It's going to go like that because it's so much more intimate. So excited.
Yeah, it's so much. And this is what we know. And I always say, it's like what we don't know that will happen. That always happens when people join. People join for a reason. I promise you, what will happen at the end of April is you're not going to recognize yourself. Imagine you're going to be in flow in every area of your life. Relationships that need to be healed will be healed because you're no longer going to be a person that has unhealed relationships, especially with yourself. Business, the kind of wealth you want to bring in to your life, it's going to happen because now you're not just counting on the 3D. Oh, the economy. Oh, this and that. You're creating your own economy. You're creating your own economy. That's what we do. We create our own economy. And then finally, there are some of you that have asked about Inner Circle and my elite programs. If this interests you, sign up for this and have a conversation about the elite programs, because what will happen is this is included in any elite program you do. In Inner Circle right now, we have 3 spots available. I've already got some people that I'm thinking about, but perhaps you want to let me know that it is you as well. that is something to have a conversation with somebody on my team to start. That's where you would start. And then we would go from there. So our elite programs will include this, but if you know you want to do this, sign up now. So who are we seeing join right now? Like, who knows that they are in? Full body in. And remember, intuition is love. It never guides you astray. So what do you want to say to people, Amber, they might now, like, intuition said yes, but now they feel a little bit of doubt or something like that that's coming up for them? Or when they leave this call, right? Then we get into our head or the mechanics of it.
Of course, yeah. And I'm notorious for that as well. Hina can attest.
Yes. I mean, she had to see a whole sign in Chicago, for God's sakes.
I can literally talk myself out of anything. And so the whole point of the program is expanding, building that trust. It's just such an invaluable tool that there is no textbook way to go about it. So I feel like if you're interested in developing your intuition, this is the perfect container to do it in, because it is so much more personal and the baseline goal is the same. The goal is to give you your power back. So yeah, it would be wonderful if you would join. It's going to be I have goosebumps all over my body. It's going to be the best time ever.
And you've been and experienced the morning calls. What do you think of that in and of itself as a bonus?
So, night owl, very resistant to the morning calls when I first got them. And honestly, the first week I was like, you know what? Be my word, show up, do it. And I quantum leapt that first week. I was never the same again. I truly, from the time that I first met Hina, I don't even know who that old girl was, to be honest with you. And it was just showing up for myself. I just proved that I could commit to something that I knew would better myself. And I had to let go of resistance around thinking that anyone knew better for me. And when I did that and I leaned into all of the signs my guides were giving me, my life just, I don't even have words. They literally changed my life. Just the act of participating, let alone what you get from Hina. And when I met Hina, I remember the first time we sat and talked in person, I was like, you do something where you channel information. Like, it's you wake up in the morning and you decide one thing, but then it switches to another thing. And she's like, oh, those are my morning calls. And I was like, you're a channel. So it was amazing to witness the way that Hina works with her own intuition on the calls every single morning. It is totally customized to our little collective, which is the most incredible community.
As you say that, this morning's call, I was reaching for the book that I thought we've been studying from. And then there was another book that I saw, and I was like, and again, it was like, you're meant to teach from that today. I didn't know why. It was a thick book, so I didn't know like what page, what I was meant to teach from. But you see, I don't question that. I don't question it. I don't wonder, oh, why did I get that thought, or talk myself out of it. I used to be like, but why? I'm going to do this. That is part of being in flow. And it was an amazing call this morning. If you were on it, let me know. It was such an amazing call. And that was another intuitive call. So my team is here to support you, along with your own spirit team, but the physical team, my team, are here to support you. So what I would love to do is now get the name of the person that is getting the personalized bundle. So if it hasn't already been, or if someone could WhatsApp it to me, I always tell my team, I don't like to know. I like it to be a full surprise. And that way, okay, I love it. Here we go. Let's see if this person is on. Because if the person is not on, I think. Oh, sorry. Let me see here. Okay. Well, You're so welcome, Heidi. I'm going to see you soon in KMC. Okay. The winner is Nada Habib. Nada Habib will be receiving something. I don't know Nada at all. So this is going to be fun to see what Amber and I decide Nada Habib should receive. Again, if you have any questions, please contact my team. Again, we are so thrilled to receive you into this really, really, really special container. If you know it's for you and this is your next step, can't wait to have you join and be on our morning calls and be part of our community right away. And if you have any other questions, again, reach out to my team. If you have questions about payment plans, funding, all of that, my team can answer for you. With that, Amber, I want to say a heartfelt thank you. And I am just so enthused about doing this with you on the regular in the new year and working with the first 20 people.
So grateful, everyone. Thank you so much.
And Gabby, if you want to close it off, thank you so much. And thank you to the team for always organizing everything for these events. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Hina. Thank you, Ashima. Thank you, Jesse. And thank you to everyone who joined us for these last 3 days. This masterclass was epic. We are looking forward to having more people in our community and sharing this wonderful circle with us. And just a reminder that the founders rate will be in effect for this month. But we don't want you to wait until next week to join. We want you to join right away so you can take advantage of our 6 a.m. calls and receive that voucher and also participate in our community. Join right away. So we're excited. And of course, that small group call. First 20 people that join, you'll be split into 2 groups with Hina and Amber, like both of them talking about self-image and goals. Oh, I'm just taking it all in. What a wonderful 3 days. Thank you to you for joining. Happy Thanksgiving to those that celebrate. Sending you lots of love. And as Hina said, make sure that you are in flow. Create your own economy. Bye for now.